The weird woods are wild, man. The weird woods, it'll do things to your mind. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Adventures with Parker. This is our 11th day of the trip, and our second park of the day. We are here at Knott's Berry Farm, which is a park I've been wanting to visit forever. It's a Cedar Fair park, and it has 8 roller coasters, I believe. But the thing that makes this park truly special is its history. It predates Disney as a theme park, and it is one of the most themed Cedar Fair parks out there.
I've been here before, and I can tell you guys, when you walk around this park, it's not a Cedar Fair park.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's totally different.
Right now, we're even standing in the Ghost Town area, which is the original area of the park. For those of you who don't know, the park started out with the chicken restaurant, and then the Ghost Town was built first as something for the patrons to do while they were waiting for their reservations, and then the theme park just grew around that. So there's a lot of history, a lot of charm, a lot of just so many different layers to explore. So I'm really happy to finally be here. And we are visiting at a very special time of year because they are doing their Ghost Town Alive events. So yes, Knott's Berry Farm really is one of those parks that has so much to see and do, and there's going to be something that appeals to any member of the family. And because of that, I've decided to split this video into 2 parts. For the first part of our day, we mostly focused on the coaster credits. So that's what we're going to be doing here in part 1, plus a few other surprises along the way. And then later when we get onto part 2, that's mostly going to focus on the attractions in the Calico Ghost Town area, as well as Ghost Town Alive, and all of that good stuff. So without any further ado, let the Knott's Berry Farm adventures begin. Gosh. So like I was saying, we were here during Ghost Town Alive, so there are characters and cowboys everywhere you look. This is so freaking cool. However, first off of the day is here at the general store because this is where we get our all-season fast lanes from. So we're gonna head in and do that.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Fast lane has been secured, and I think the first thing we're going to do is hit up a few of the coasters, but I am definitely coming back to this area to check out some of the Ghost Town Alive stuff. So yeah, more to come on all of this. Of course, Knott's Berry Farm is named that because, well, it was a Boysenberry farm back in the day. And then, of course, the chicken restaurant came after, and then the Ghost Town, and then the theme park. But they still really celebrate the legacy of Boysenberry. So y'all know I'm gonna be having Boysenberry everything today, and we're kicking it off with a Boysenberry icy. Now, I don't think I've ever tasted Boysenberry before, so this is gonna be a new thing for me. So cheers to some Boysenberry. Ooh, that's really good. Oh my god. I'm a Boysenberry fan. Oh my gosh. This is some life-changing stuff, guys. I just got off a Ghost Rider, and Burke and I were in the back row, and I thought it was a great ride. And apparently these guys are saying otherwise.
I could fall asleep.
Maybe I gotta try different seats.
Yeah. front row was too boring. Not painful,
that's why you
not
didn't sit in the
airtime,
front.
nothing.
Well, guess what? In the back row, you got lots of airtime, some insane laterals. I thought the ride was really well paced and really well balanced too. Like some rides, it's usually like either all airtime or all laterals. This was a good balance.
It's solid. Like, I mean, I really like it. I think there's a good part of airtime. There's laterals on it. Do I think it was a little overhyped for some people?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I was going to say,
I
think it is overrated, but still a really good
yeah,
ride.
it's really solid, though. It's really good. I like it.
So the next ride we are going to do is probably the coaster I'm most excited for today, and that is Xcelerator, which is the original Intamin Accelerator coaster. This is basically the prototype for the rides that became Top Thrill Dragster, King de Ka, Storm Runner. This is one that started it all. And over the past few years, they've been having some issues with this ride, but it looks like they've managed to get things working. It seems to be running smoothly for the most part. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. But yeah, and this is also Tyler Burke's 350th coaster credit?
Yeah, this is my 350th. That's why I wanted to go to Adventure City, because I wouldn't have cared if it was one of the family coasters my 350th, but I've been here before. The last time I was here, this thing wasn't open at all. So I'm just like, okay, if we go get those, I can make this my 350th. It's possibly gonna be the best ride here.
Yeah,
so I'm looking for, and I'm a big Intamin fan, so it'd be a great 350th.
Hey, welcome on Xcelerator. Just do one thing for me, guys. Once you all see the parking lot, say
Oh geez, we're next, and I'm just realizing how nervous I am. These launch coasters always make me a little apprehensive. Too late now, I guess. Well, I just did Xcelerator. I love these launch coasters, and especially this one, because like a lot of them you pull forward and then launch just when you're going right out the station. That launch is powerful. I love these Intamin Accelerators so much, and I'm all shaky now. And it was just great. And the thing I like about this one is that it takes you over the top hat, but then it kind of has a few curves. So, you know, you're like, you know, pushing through, building that potential energy, but then you're doing some other things to just kind of ride it out. It's like Storm Runner. Not a super long ride, but it does exactly what it needs to do. That was great. Hold on 1 second. And Burke, your 350th credit.
Let's go. I knew last time I was here that this is the best ride here, and it's not open, so I was kind of disappointed with that.
Yeah.
So now that I rode it, absolutely it's number one here. That is intense. Like, I'm a big Intamin fan. That launch was great. It was really good. Probably one of my favorite launch coasters. I'm definitely getting more on that later.
Absolutely.
It was insane.
So I just got off of Coast Rider, which is a very cleverly named coaster considering Ghost Rider across the park, but I think that's the worst wildmost coaster I've ever done. I mean, the ride itself wasn't too bad. It's not as rough as people were making it out to be, but the problem is that the restraints are really weird. They had this shin guard, kind of like what the RMC coasters have, but 10 times worse. My knees were so cramped and my shins were just so uncomfortable the entire time. I think that one's a one and done for me, unfortunately. Our next coaster of the day was HangTime, the Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, or dive coaster as Knott likes to market it as, and it was pretty good. It didn't have as much hang time as you might expect considering the name, but there were a couple moments here and there, and there was one really great pop-up airtime. It's kind of like a little fake-out drop right before the loop. That was a really nice moment. I think that was my favorite moment of the ride. But it was really good. It was a solid ride overall. Maybe not my favorite ride ever, but a really good part of Knott's coaster collection. Alrighty, it is time for lunch, and we decided to come over here to Prop Shop Pizzeria, an Italian kitchen. And it's been a hot minute since I've had some Italian on this trip, and I've been craving it, so I am so ready for this. So I got the Basil and Peach Flatbread, which is very interesting. I never thought of putting peaches on a pizza, but here we are. It looks pretty good. And that is part of the Flavors of Summer menu. So that must be a special offering that they're doing right now. And of course, I had to pair that with some Boysenberry punch. That's Boysenberry item number 2 of the day, for those of you who are keeping track at home. And I already had a little sip of it, and it is really good. Like I said, I think I'm obsessed with Boysenberry now. Okay, that's actually really good. The fruit surprisingly goes really well with it. It's kind of like putting pineapple on pizza, I guess, which I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm a fan. I will stand up for pineapple on pizza, and I guess now pairs well on pizza as well. And the balsamic glaze is really good, and it also has a really nice garlicky flavor, so yeah, I'm a fan. Lunch was pretty good, but now we are heading off to a ride that I have been really looking forward to, and that is Knott's Fairy Tales. Now, this ride was originally around in the park way back in the day, but then it got taken out and replaced by some other attractions. But a couple years ago, the park brought it back in a new, updated, modern form, and I have become obsessed with it ever since I did my History of Cedar Fair Dark Rides video. This is by far the best Cedar Fair dark ride out there based on what I've seen and what I've heard of it. So I am just so ready to experience it for myself. It looks so cute and so fun. So let's go and get to the fair. We're stuck in the weird woods. We've been on this screen for at least 5 minutes now, and my arm is getting very tired. The ride's good so far, just kind of weird that we're stuff here. Like, what's going on? I wouldn't mind an evac credit though.
Evac!
Let us go, Mr. Fox. Let us go to the fair. That's all I want. Let me go. I am happy to say that I'm sitting at 123,800 points. Quentin coming in with 81,700. And Amanda's got 57,800. And I'm slowly starting to go crazy here. The weird woods are wild, man. The weird woods, it'll do things to your mind. Help. Please send help. Help me. Please.
Help!
Oh, we're moving. Nice. Look at us go. Knott's Fairy Tales was so cute. It had a lot of elements of the original, like the gypsy camp and the weird woods, and then of course the finale of getting to the fair. It was just a fun, cute ride all around, and they did a really good job at balancing the screens and the interactive element of, you know, pulling your jar of boysenberry to shoot at the pies, and practical effects. It was a good marriage between the two, and by far my favorite Cryotech dark ride that I've done. And I also love the premise of it being an original IP that, of course, was a story that was created a long time ago. The original was a Rolling Crump classic, and it's great that they brought it back and updated it for a new generation. Now, I will say, the operations at this park have been a little questionable today, and especially on this ride. We got stuck in that weird wood scene for, it had to have been like 8 minutes. It was too long, and I get that they were having a hold up in the station, but you know, that was just weird. And it seems to be a common theme today that a lot of the rides are taking a while to load and dispatch. So that kind of sucked, and it did kind of take you out of the story and the immersion of the ride. But ignoring that part, it was good. I'm a fan, and I got to come back later and maybe get a more cohesive experience, if you will. It looks like Pony Express is going to be down for today, which sucks because this looks like a neat little coaster. It's basically a motorbike coaster, but instead of riding on a motorcycle, you're riding on little horses, which just seems so cute to me. So that's a disappointing loss. However, we are walking by Calico River Rapids right now, and I'm really excited for this one because they redid this ride a couple years ago. So now it has a lot of really cool theming elements, some animatronics, and you know me, I love a good themed ride. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
It's really fun. Like, I did this one last year. It's one of my favorite rapids. So it's really good. As it comes for this, you're not missing much.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Calico River Rapids was so fun. It had this cute wilderness theme. As you went along, you saw different animatronics along the river. Like there was a wolf, there was a bear family, there were foxes. At one point, you passed this hunter's cabin, and as he, shot his rifle, you saw a spray of water come up. It was just really well done and got me quite a bit wet. So, it's a good River Rapids one. Oh, hello, Whittles. How are you doing today? Good, good. right, so we just got off a Silver Bullet, and I ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I would. I'd always heard that this was one of the weaker B&Ms, and while I admit that that's true, I think I downplayed it in my mind, so I'm happy to say that it did exceed my expectations. It still is the weakest one, but it's still good. So it's a B&M invert. You really can't go wrong. And I really love that final helix, that final upwards helix over the lake. It was really intense, and you got some pretty cool water views going on.
Flight deck's better.
Which one?
Both of them.
I half agree.
But other than that helix, like the rest is mid to me. It's definitely my least favorite B&M invert, but it's still fun. It's good for the sport, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Here at Sidewinder was way better than I was expecting. That might be the best spinning coaster that I've done, besides Time Traveler, of course. But you spun so much. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, like I've been telling them this is a sleeper ride here no one really talks about, but it's really good and underrated. Honestly, I prefer it over HangTime and Silver Bullet, and I think it's number 3 in this park, and for a very hot take for you all, I do think this is better than Time Traveler.
All right, you heard it here first.
Because it spins so much more, and that's what
does.
I want Time Traveler to be.
Okay, that's true. I will concede to you on that. All right, well that is going to do it for part 1 of our adventures at Knott's Berry Farm. Overall, this park has a really solid collection of coasters. I think, it lacks in quantity, but for the most part the quality is there. Xcelerator and Ghost Rider were by far my favorites from the day, and I think this park could benefit from one more really good elite coaster to really elevate their lineup. Of course, Knott's is about so much more than the coasters, as we're going to find out in part 2, but if you are a coaster enthusiast, it's definitely not a place to skip. And yeah, I guess if anything, my only real downer for today was Ghost Rider. Like I said, that ride is so uncomfortable, so if they can improve that, then they'd be golden. But yes, as I said, there's still more to come from this park as we do part 2, which is going to mostly focus on things like the attractions in the Calico area, as well as Ghost Town Alive and all of the character interactions that you get with that. Plus, we'll explore some other areas of the park and get some night rides on our favorite coasters. If you don't want to miss that or any of my other future adventures, I highly recommend becoming a subscriber. Also be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my future videos when I upload them. You can also find me on social media. I'm at ADB Parker on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, and at Adventures with Parker on TikTok and Facebook. As always, big shout out to my Patreon members, Javan, Chris, and Dominic, for going above and beyond in your support of the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you're thinking about becoming a Patreon member, you can head on over to patreon.com/adbparker to learn about all the different tiers that I have available. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Stay on the lookout for part 2, and until next time, the adventures are calling. Bye! What's back here? Entrance? Oh, there's only... Nope.